The chatter around Ram's upcoming compact project is fun, but the real heavyweight story sits squarely in the half-ton class. The 1500 is the truck that carries the brand's reputation, the one that's supposed to stare down the F-150 without blinking. And for 2027, Ram isn't just polishing chrome, they're tightening up key parts of the formula in a way that actually matters out on the road and on the job. The newest 1500 is shaping up to be the most serious shot Ram's taken at the crown, and the updates coming in are enough to make any truck fan pause mid-scroll. There's genuine potential here, and if the company sticks the landing, this thing could end up being the pickup everyone's talking about next year. In this video, we are breaking down why this rig deserves your attention. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. New TRX. Ram knows exactly what kind of shadow the TRX casts. It wasn't just a fast truck, it was a statement, a bit of American overkill with a grin baked into the throttle. For 2027, they're bringing that attitude back, but with a more calculated approach to keep pace with the updated Ford Raptor R. The reworked TRX is leaning heavily on its strengths: big power and serious suspension travel. But the big shift is likely under the hood. Ram can't just roll out the same recipe from a few years ago. The Raptor R has moved the goalposts. So, expect a powertrain that's lighter, more responsive, and tuned to hit harder in the mid-range. The chassis is getting attention too. Engineers have been dialing in better control at high speed, something TRX drivers kept asking for. If Ram nails the damping and adds a bit more composure over repeated hits, this new model could finally bridge the gap between brute force and genuine desert running finesse. Diesel and other engines. Ram made a noise by bringing the HEMI V8 back, and it was the right call. A truck with this kind of heritage needs a brawny, naturally aspirated option for drivers who still enjoy that classic throttle feel. The familiar 5.7-liter setup returns with 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque, giving the Ram 1500 a proper old-school punch that pairs nicely with towing and long-haul comfort. At the same time, the company isn't ignoring the future. The Hurricane in Line 6 is covering the modern, high-efficiency side of the lineup. In standard form, the 3-liter twin-turbo configuration puts out 420 horsepower and 468 pound-feet of torque, with the high-output version stretching into the 500 ponies. Versatility is important, and with both units offered, Ram has a lineup that speaks to different kinds of truck drivers. But the company's not done there. The stage is also set for the move many fans have been waiting for, bringing diesel back. To put it into perspective, General Motors isn't stepping away from the Duramax in its half-ton Silverado and Sierra, and those trucks are pulling in buyers who want effortless torque and impressive real-world efficiency. So, Ram can't ignore that gap, especially now that diesel tech has cleaned up its act and the market still trusts the format for towing and highway stability. This won't be a copy-paste return of the old 3-liter EcoDiesel. Engineers have been working to refine the formula, making it stronger, cleaner, and more competitive. The previous numbers, 260 horsepower and 480 pound-feet, were solid, but the 2027 version is expected to step things up to around 280 ponies, with torque landing somewhere at 500 pound-feet. Expect a towing capacity boost as well. Ram is nearly 2,000 pounds behind the F-150, and that's a serious gap that has to be closed if they want to compete with the current truck king. Ram Baby Truck. Let's go back to the beginning where we mentioned a smaller truck. The company's CEO, Antonio Filosa, made it official. Ram is stepping into the midsize segment with a brand new model, and it lines up perfectly with what we've been talking about in earlier videos. The Dakota nameplate is coming back. This move makes sense. The midsize market is on fire, and Ram has been the only major player sitting on the sidelines. Bringing back the Dakota puts the truck maker right in the mix with Tacoma, Ranger, and Colorado, and it gives Ram something for drivers who want capability without the bulk of a full-size rig. There's a ton of nostalgia wrapped up in this name, but Ram isn't banking only on memories. The new Dakota is expected to lean into modern tech, better fuel economy, and a platform that feels lightweight yet still tough enough for towing and weekend trails. Velosa didn't share a release date, keeping that part under wraps for now, but the confirmation alone has sent a ripple through the truck crowd. Dethroning the F-150 in 2027. Ram has stacked the deck with moves that actually matter to truck buyers, not just flashy badges or marketing buzz. The TRX returning with a sharper, more focused setup is a big part of this push. Ford's Raptor R has been flexing hard, and Ram choosing to answer with a stronger successor shows they're not just chasing headlines. Add the revived HEMI V8 to the equation, a decision that instantly recharged Ram's identity, and you start seeing a lineup with real depth. And then there's the diesel story, exactly the kind of strategic play the company and the Ram pickup needed. GM proved the demand never died, and Stellantis stepping back into that arena fills a gap Ford hasn't touched in years. To round it out, Ram pushed the luxury game further with the tungsten trim, a cabin that feels more like a high-end lounge than a pickup interior. Features are polished, materials feel premium, and the whole experience signals that Ram wants to lead not just in performance and powertrains, but in comfort too. All the ingredients are on the table: power, variety, refinement, and a performance flagship that can go toe-to-toe with anything Blue Oval builds. But the truth is, Ford won't just sit still. The F-150 machine is enormous, and every time the competition gets close, Ford tends to fire back quickly and aggressively. So the real showdown is shaping up now. Ram has never been better positioned, and 2027 might be the year this rivalry gets genuinely close again, maybe even close enough to tilt the crown. Verdict: Stellantis is almost certainly holding a few cards close until the covers come off. The 2027 Ram 1500 is only a few months away from its official debut, and we haven't seen the full picture yet, that's for sure. Even so, the moves this company has rolled out already are enough to make the segment feel tense in the best possible way. Anyhow, there's the downside. Prices will go up. Be sure. It happens regularly, even without big changes and huge investments. Today, we can still find a half-tonner under 40 grand. In a couple of years, this won't be the case. The TRX might even jump into a 6-digit price realm. We'll be keeping an eye on the other corner, because Ford won't let this pressure slide. And over at GM, the company injected nearly $1 billion into developing its next wave of V8 engines. A massive investment won't fully pay off for a few more years, but it will shift the landscape once it does. All things considered, the half-ton pickup truck segment is heating up. The competition is sharper, the strategies are bolder, and every truck maker knows the stakes. For truck fans, things are again getting interesting. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.